All right. So today we are sitting down with Candace, and she is. What's your ethnicity?
I look very white.
Yes, but I didn't know if you were like, I don't know, like Polish or.
No,
I don't
I'm a lot of different things.
You know, a lot of different things. Okay.
Including Native American.
Native American. Okay. So is it fair to say you're like what, European maybe?
Yes, you would.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
You would call
Good.
me a European.
All right. Okay. So the first question I'm going to ask you is, what is the definition of culture to you?
I think that culture, simply defined, would be the sights and sounds and music and food that kind of exists within a community of people.
Okay.
And that can be like a small community, and then you can like kind of expand on that, and then you have like larger cultures. But I think of more like tight knit communities, and that would define more closely culture.
Okay. And how do you define family?
Well, family is a unit of people who habitate together and who do life together.
Okay. And who holds the most status in your family, would you say?
In my family?
Yeah. That could mean like on a bigger scale. So like your mom, your dad, your cousins.
Yeah, my mom.
Your mom holds the most status?
Definitely a matriarch.
Okay, because she's a matriarch, that's why?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So how would you define success?
Success. I do not define success by money, I can tell you that. I think that success is more measured in happiness and freedom within self.
Okay, so more of an individual thing. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you consider your parents to be successful?
I do.
You do?
Okay. I do.
How important would you say education is in your family?
I was the first college graduate in my family.
Oh, wow.
So education was important, but it wasn't the end all. My family were very blue collar. My dad worked in cotton mills, and I used to pick cotton out of his hair whenever he would get home from work every day. So, college and education was not necessarily.
So it wasn't the end of the world if you didn't go?
No, it wasn't at all. No one had really high expectations that I would go to college, but they were really excited that I did.
Okay. Very similar to my family. Yeah. Okay. Is punctuality important to you? Why not?
I'm the most non-punctual person.
Non-punctual?
Ever.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
It is important to me. No.
Okay.
It's not. It's really not.
Okay.
Unless it's money arriving
in
a mailbox that I need to like cash a check, then I'm pretty mad if it's not punctual.
Yeah, punctual. Yeah, I get that. Me too. What is the most important meal of the day?
Dinner.
Dinner?
Yeah, dinner. Yeah, that really is family time.
I was gonna say, is it because of the socialness of it?
Yeah, it is. Like we all disperse for the day. We do lots of different things in the day. People, in our family go different places, and then we congregate back together, and it's just like the meeting back together place.
Okay.
Where we can talk about. We play a game called Cherries and Pits. And we talk about the highlights of our day and then the worst parts of our day.
Okay. Do you eat foods that are indigenous to your culture? Why or why not? If you answered yes, name some of the foods that you eat. If you answer no, what types of foods do you eat?
Well, I have a pretty wide palate. I like a lot of different food, but I would say that the food that's indigenous to my culture is a very Southern cuisine.
Okay.
And I grew up eating that, but I don't necessarily adhere to that now.
Yeah.
So I eat a lot more like Indian and Thai and West African and Chinese, Japanese.
So you kind of dibble and dabble in different other culture food.
I do.
Me too. I love food in general.
Yeah.
Okay. So, did you ever live with your grandparents or extended family?
No.
No? Okay. Do you actively participate in an organized religion?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. How important is religion in your family and why?
Very important. That is, I think that when you asked earlier what defines success, in my family, that is really what defines
Important.
success. How close is your spiritual life? How is your walk with God? Like, if you are not walking with God, you are not successful. And
Okay.
that's kind of like the end success.
Okay. Would you say that's like the foundation for your family?
Yes.
Kind of. Okay. All right. If religion is important in your family, do you plan to pass this on to your children?
I do. I do pass this on to my children. I don't know that I'm quite as hard-nosed about it as my family are, but I do pass it on to them.
Okay. So are those roles, are those roles of men and women specifically defined in your family? If so, what are they?
Yes. My family was very traditional, and my father went to work, and my mother stayed home. My father did the yard work. My mother cooked dinner.
Okay.
You know, those sort of traditional.
Okay. Was it like head of the household
roles,
type thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Though my mother really was the head of the household.
Yeah.
She would pretend like my dad was in charge, but he was never in charge.
Yeah. I feel like that's how it is a lot of times with certain families. Yeah. That's how it was with my grandparents. You know, my grandpa liked to think that he was, but my grandma really was.
Yeah. My dad never he never claimed to be, but my mom did. She said that he was, but we all knew, including my dad. My mom was always in charge.
Yeah.
She is just by nature matriarch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any eating habits / rituals that are specific to your culture?
Eating habits or rituals? Jeez Louise. I don't know. That's a hard question. Why is it so hard? 3 meals a day. Yeah, like, whenever I build a plate, I always think, like, you need to have a vegetable, and your vegetable is not a starch. You need to make sure you have, like, a separate starch.
Yeah.
And you have a protein. And, I don't know. I guess that would be cultural.
Maybe, like, I don't know, like praying or meditation or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Is that kind of, sort of?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, we do
It
pray.
It just came to my mind when I saw rituals.
Yeah, we do. We do pray before we eat and give thanks. Yeah.
Okay. Define and describe the most important or most celebrated holiday of your culture.
Christmas, I think, would be the most celebrated holiday because we are Christians. And Easter would be, I think, a close second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If you are from a culture that speaks English as a second language, do you speak your native language?
I am from a culture that speaks English.
Okay.
My ex-husband, is not. So I have some insight into that. I don't know if that's really applicable because he's not a part of the interview.
Yeah.
But
what was his language again, though?
Czech.
That's right. And that was his first language, right?
That was his first language.
Okay.
And English was his fifth language.
Wow.
So it was interesting playing Scrabble together.
Wow. English was his fifth language that he learned?
It was his fifth language.
Was it like, how was he as a communicator with English? Like, was he okay?
Yeah, he was, and yeah, his command of the language was excellent.
Okay.
Yeah, he could.
Okay.
He could speak.
I just always wonder how that is to live in an area where like they predominantly speak English and you kind of like have to indulge yourself in that language completely almost.
Yeah.
To function day to day with the other people.
Yeah.
Unless you're like, you know, have friends or family members who live close by, and like you deal with them on a day-to-day basis, and you can talk in your native tongue.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can say this. This is a little bit of a side note, but he would wake up from dreams and he'd be speaking in Czech. And sometimes he would, like, we'd be talking, and especially if it was something kind of important, he would look at me and he would talk in Czech, and I would look at him like, I can't understand what you just said. Can you speak in English? And he would just like, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm speaking in Czech. So it was always very present, like always very reticent.
Okay.
Yeah.
This whole type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So how is physical contact viewed in your culture?
Physical contact?
Yeah, maybe so like hugging or just like laying close to someone when they're sick, or that's what comes to mind when I think of that.
Yeah, we're very affectionate people.
Okay.
I think my family is very affectionate. I am incredibly affectionate, and I like to be close all of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. Do you have something that is considered most disrespectful in your culture? Or respectful?
Well, I am from the South, and I think those kinds of, like, there's like certain manners, like your manners are really, really important, and your etiquette is really important. Like, even though we were real blue collar, my mom, she always wanted to be fancier than we actually were. And so, like, table manners were very important, and like napkin in the lap, and you're right, you know, you have the right fork and the knife and all of that. Like, every big holiday we would have, like, she would spend a lot of time setting the table, and it would be like, you have all the right knives and forks and spoons, which actually did catapult me into hospitality as an industry for a good long while. Like, I really loved that aspect of the dining and like the eating proper.
Yeah.
I loved that.
My grandma does that during holidays, especially Christmas and Thanksgiving, sits at the table and brings out the fine china and all that good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a lot of that. Yeah. So, like, being respectful and being kind is also, like, you know, you don't talk bad to anybody, and you don't speak in mean tones, and, you know, you say something good or don't say anything at all, like that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. What would you say, from your perspective, if you have something that is the most commonly held misconception about people of your culture?
You want to pause that? I might have to think about that one for a second.